Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I welcome you all to our Bhagavad Gita class. And if you're joining to this class for the first time, I welcome you once again. I also encourage all the devotees to use the Zoom chat window to post all your questions and doubts regarding Bhagavad Gita so that Timur Prabhu can coordinate your questions and Guruji will answer all your questions at the end of the lecture. And now, Guruji will start with today's Bhagavad Gita class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namini. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaga. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandegam Sri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Ragunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम. Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day. And by Krishna's mercy, we are in the 14th chapter. So we finished 16 slokas. So, but anyone who joins for the first time, no need to think that we are already in the 14th chapter, because I will be covering the slokas from all the chapters actually. This Bhagavad Gita itself should be studied as a full subject, full book actually. So that way, whatever Krishna is actually giving the knowledge in the second chapter, it's also discussed in the 14th chapter. For example, the three modes of material nature, what we are studying in the 14th chapter, that is the title of the 14th chapter. But in the third chapter itself, Krishna said in the third chapter, Krishna, in the fifth sloka, Krishna said in the third chapter, Nahi kasyate kshanamapi jatutistati akarmakrit karyatehi avasyaga karma sarvaga prakriti jair gunai. So Krishna used the word gunai. Even in the second chapter also Krishna used the word gunai. Three modes of material nature. Traigunya vishaya veda nistraigunyo bhavo arjuna. So these gunas, these three modes of material nature, Krishna is actually already in the second chapter, third chapter, everywhere Krishna is teaching us. But in the 14th chapter, we are understanding completely about these three modes of material nature. So in the third chapter, in that fifth sloka, we understood very clearly that everyone is forced to act helplessly by the three modes of material nature. So no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. So we are always under force in this material world. We think that I am doing, you are doing all such things, but that is not correct. Based on Bhagavad Gita, I am not doing anything, you are not doing anything. Everything is done by the three modes of material nature. That's what we need to understand. So we are controlled by the modes of nature, and the modes of nature, they are doing everything. The three modes of material nature, they are doing everything. That's what we understand from Bhagavad Gita. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu. So we are not doing anything. We are not creating any work. We are not responsible for anyone's doing some work also. So we are not creating work for anyone. We are not creating work for ourselves. We are not doing anything also. Na kartrutvam, na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu. Na karma pala samyogam. And also we are not creating the results of our activities. That's what in the second chapter itself we studied. Krishna said that you have a right to perform your duty, but you don't have the right over the results of your activities. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. So you have a right. You have a right. Adhikara. Adhikara means you have a right. You have a right to perform your duty. That's what karmanyeva adhikaraste. But immediately in the second line, Krishna said that ma paleshu kadasana. So ma paleshu kadasana means, but you don't have the adhikara on the results at any time. So you have the adhikara, that is the right. You have the right to perform your prescribed duty. But you don't have the right over the results of your activities. Ma paleshu kadasana. And don't think that you are the cause of the results of your activities. Ma karma pala hetu. So you are not the cause. Hetu. Hetu means the cause. Ma hetu. That means you are not the cause. So ma karma pala. Karma pala means the results of your activities. So never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities. Mate sangost akarmani. So Krishna used ma many times. So mate sangost akarmani means, akarmani means it is not doing your duty. Ma sangos means don't be attached. So ma te means you. So you don't be attached to not doing your duty. That's what mate sangos akarmani. Ma sanges akarmani. Ma sangos. So that means never be attached to not doing your duty. That's what Krishna is teaching us. In this one sloka, in the second chapter, sloka number 47, Krishna is just, in each and every line, Krishna is giving us the knowledge, instructions, basically instructions, what we should do. We should follow line by line, like that every sloka. I'm just giving one example in this sloka, which is often quoted also. So like that, each and every sloka, we should follow line by line, and then we need to understand and follow in our life. Then we will be freed from this material world. So Krishna is teaching us that in this sloka, in each line by line, you have a right to perform your duty, but you don't have the right over the results of your activities. And you never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So we need to understand these concepts very, very well, and then follow what Krishna says. That's what is very important. If we do that like this in each and every sloka, whatever Krishna says, then it is guaranteed that we will be going back to Krishna's well, Goloka. We won't come back to this material well. That means we are freed from the, liberated from the old age and death. Marana, Jara, Marana, Mokshaya. Jara, Marana. Jara is old age, Marana is death. Jara, Marana, Mokshaya. We are freed from the old age and death. If we just follow this Bhagavad Gita. Mamashitya yatanti. So we need to take shelter unto Krishna. So just by taking shelter unto Krishna, we will be freed from attachment, fear and anger. And by doing devotional service unto Krishna, by doing the tapasya, austerities, and with the knowledge, and then jnana tapasa, then we will be purified. So the Atma, the soul is purified. Puta, madbhavam agata. Puta, madbhavam agata. So they get purified and attain my nature. That's what Krishna is teaching us. Vitaraga vaya krodha manmaya mamupashitaha bhagavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agata. So many persons in the past, so by taking shelter unto me, so they were freed from attachment, fear and anger. Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. And then with the virtue of knowledge and austerities, so they got purified and have attained my nature. So that's what Puta Madbhavam Agataga. So we'll be able to attain Krishna's nature if we study Bhagavad Gita and follow Bhagavad Gita. If we are freed from the three modes of material nature, we are going to attain Krishna's nature. So, one who is freed from the modes of nature, that is Nanyam Gunebhyaha Kartaram Yatha Drashtanupasyati Gunebhyascha Param Veti Madbhavam So Adhigacchati. So, anyone who thinks that nothing other than the three modes of material nature is doing everything, so they are freed from the three modes of material nature and they will attain my nature. So once we are freed from the modes of nature, we will attain Krishna's nature. That's why Madbhavam Suvadhigacchati. So Nanyam Gunebhyaha Kartaram Yatha Drashtanupasyati Gunebhyascha Param Veti Madbhavam Suvadhigacchati. So that is Krishna's Bhavam, Madbhavam. So what is Krishna's Bhavam? Krishna's Bhavam is he is above the modes of nature. Tribhigi Gunamayegi Bhavaigi Yebhigi Sarva the Mogitam Jagat. So they don't understand me. Mogitam Nabhijanati Mamyebhyaka Param Avyam. So Mamyebhyaka Param Avyam. So Krishna is above the three modes of material nature. So that's what is Krishna's Bhava. So Madbhava, my Bhava, is Krishna's Bhava. Krishna's Bhava is Krishna is not controlled by the modes of nature. Krishna is above the three modes of material nature. So we will attain Krishna's nature. That means we are freed from the modes of nature. That should be the goal of our life. The goal of our life is to free ourselves from these three modes of material nature by studying Bhagavad Gita. That's it. Study Bhagavad Gita, follow Bhagavad Gita, and practice and spread this message and make devotees everywhere. So that way, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we will be able to actually free ourselves from these three modes of material nature. It's going to be possible only, this knowledge only is going to help us. This is the only way. The only way we can purify ourselves is using this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrsam pavitra miga vidyate. So there is nothing else is purer than this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Many times I quoted this sloka. There is nothing else is purer than this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, which we are getting. We are studying, we are understanding this Bhagavad Gita. So if we follow this Bhagavad Gita, then we will be purified. If we follow what all Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, then we will be purified. So that is Atma will be purified. Because we will be able to use our body, mind, senses, intelligence, everything in the right way. If we have this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Otherwise, we will be using our mind in a wrong way. We will bring problems to us. So our mind can invite problems to us and then we will get ourselves bound to this material well. So how we can free ourselves from this material well? By having the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will know what is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done. Then we will know what are the prescribed duties. By studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita as it is fully, all the slokas, we know what are our prescribed duties. That is niyatam karma. Niyatam karma means the prescribed duties. We should do only the prescribed duties. We should not be doing the abominable activities. Krishna is saying in the second chapter, Durenahi avaram karma, buddhiyogat dhananjaya. So keep all abominable activities at a far distance. So Durenahi avaram karma, buddhiyogat dhananjaya. Buddhav saranamanvicha kripana palahetava. So that way we should do only the prescribed duties. We should not be doing all the abominable activities. So niyatam kuru karmatvam. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jayohi akarmanak. So instead of not doing your duty, it's better to do your duty without expecting any results and better to do the prescribed duties. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So that means we should know what are the prescribed duties, what are the niyatam karma, the prescribed duties we should know. How will we know? Only by studying Bhagavad Gita. Because we know in Bhagavad Gita itself in the first chapter, Arjuna told Krishna so many things, and he thought that whatever he was thinking is right, and he thought that that was his prescribed duty. Arjuna thought that leaving from the battlefield and going out of the battlefield is good for him. That's what he thought. But when we understand from Bhagavad Gita, actually, Krishna is saying Arjuna that you should fight. You should fight here. You cannot leave. You should fight. That's what Krishna taught. So, the prescribed duties, we need to understand that whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, they are prescribed duties. We should actually do everything as per Krishna's instructions. Whatever you do it for me. That's what Krishna is teaching us. And that way, each and every action should actually free ourselves. That means liberate us from this material bondage. Otherwise, so much struggle in this world. We are already seeing, even in this pandemic, a lot of people, they are all struggling, suffering. We are not even able to breathe. We are not even able to lead a peaceful life. We are not even able to go out. We are not even able to have that freedom. So it's because this material world is full of miseries. That's what we need to understand. So we should not be coming back to this kind of world again. That's the point. The point is that we should not be coming back to this kind of material world and suffer again. So getting like ourselves into the material body, that itself is not a good thing. So in the material body, we are actually struggling and suffering. That's what we need to understand. So with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita only, we will be able to free ourselves from this material bondage. So that way, all these chapters, all these slokas, when we study and understand, so then we should be able to follow also by Krishna's mercy. And Krishna is actually guaranteeing, Krishna is promising that if we take shelter under Krishna, if we believe in Krishna, then he will give us the knowledge, he will give us the right directions, and Krishna will make sure that we will go to him. So in this effort, we are not alone. That's what we need to understand. It's not that we ourselves are trying alone to free ourselves from this material bondage. Krishna is actually ready to help us. Krishna is eagerly waiting to help us. So just by taking this first step of studying Bhagavad Gita and following what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, so then we are able to receive Krishna's support, Krishna's guidance, so Krishna's help. So once we get that, so then by Krishna's causeless mercy, we will be able to actually go to Krishna's well with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's what we are studying and understanding. So that way Krishna is with us. So he was with Arjuna, and Krishna gave all the needed knowledge and guidance, everything at the right time to Arjuna. Because at that point of time, in that battlefield, if Arjuna was not able to receive this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, or if Krishna did not teach this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, imagine Arjuna's situation. Arjuna was he was telling Krishna that I don't know how to drive away this grief. So I nahi prapasyami mama panudya. Chokam uchoshanam indriyana. So this chokam, this intense grief actually is drying up all my senses. Uchoshanam, this intense heat from this grief is drying up all my senses. Chokam uchoshanam indriyana. So in that condition, Arjuna was totally helpless. So if he didn't get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, if Krishna did not teach Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, so Arjuna situation was very, very troublesome. So that way, all of us are also in this material world. We are struggling, we are suffering in this material world. But if we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, if we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the way Krishna taught Arjuna, in the same way, if we study and understand this entire Bhagavad Gita, so then by Krishna's mercy, like Arjuna got relieved from all his miseries, and Arjuna became very, very brave, and he was able to do things what is he supposed to do, what he is supposed to do. So like that way, if we study Bhagavad Gita, then it will become very clear about what we should do, what we should not do, our duties and everything. And of course, Krishna is guiding us. Krishna is there in our heart as the super soul. And when we listen to Krishna, when we listen to this Bhagavad Gita, then Krishna is actually guiding us. So we will be able to get Krishna's help. So that's what we are getting. We are able to study and understand this Bhagavad Gita. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we are in the 14th chapter. We are studying. We finished 16 slokas in the 14th chapter. So what we studied, Krishna is actually in the 14th, 16th sloka. Karmanaga sukrutasyahu satvikam nirmalam palam rajasastu palam dukkham ajnanam tamasa palam. That's what we studied. So this satvikam is actually the palam, the result of sattva guna, the mode of goodness is pure. So it purifies us. Our soul, our atma is getting purified. So that's what is the palam. Whereas rajasastu palam dukkham, the fruit of this rajoguna is actually distress, dukkham. Ajnanam tamasaga palam. Whereas the ajnanam, the mode of ignorance, the palam, the fruit is tamasaga. So that is the darkness. So that's what the mode of ignorance, it's foolishness. So that's what is the palam. So now in this sloka, what we are studying, in this sloka number 17, Krishna is continuing that Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobayevacha pramada mohau tamaso bhavato ajnanam evacha. So, Sattvat Sanjayate Jnanam. We already studied. Krishna already taught us, even in the 5th, 6th sloka itself, Krishna taught us. That is Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. That's what we studied. Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. And Jnana Sangena Chanaga. So, that's what Sattva Guna. Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Badnadi Jnana Sangena Chanaga. So Jnana Sangena Chanaga. So Jnana. So same thing Krishna is teaching here that Sattvat Sanjayate Jnanam. So if we are in the Sattva Guna, in the mode of goodness, then we will get the knowledge. So right now all of us are in the mode of goodness, we are getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And when we are connected with Krishna, we are actually freed from the modes of nature also. When we are able to connect with Krishna all the time, we are freed from the modes of nature. So Rajaso Loba Evacha. Whereas the Rajoguna, it binds ones to, it gives the fruit of Rajoguna is actually Loba. So it is the Loba means the greediness. So that's what Rajoguna, Rajaso Loba Evacha. So that is the greediness develops. So that's why Rajasastu Palam Dukkham. In the previous sloka we studied the fruit of Rajoguna is Dukkham, because when we are greedy, then ultimately we will not be happy, because when we want so much, we are not going to get it. When we are greedy, we are not going to get what we want in this material world. When we don't get what we want, we are not satisfied. When we are not satisfied, our mind is agitated, our mind is disturbed. When our mind is disturbed, our mind is not peaceful. So when our mind is not peaceful, then we will get distress. That's what dukkham. So dukkham will come, distress will come. So that's why the rajaso loba evacha. So because of rajoguna, the loba comes, the greediness comes. And also in the 16th chapter, in one sloka, Krishna is teaching us that this loba is one of the gateway to hell. Trividam naraka sedam dwaram nasanam atmanaga kama krodaga tata lobas tasmat etat trayam tyajet. This loba is one of the gateway to hell. These 3 gateways to hell, kama, krodha, and loba. So that's why rajaso loba evacha. Pramado moha tamaso. So pramada means madness, moha is illusion. So because of madness and illusion, the tamoguna, what develops? Ajnana, ignorance. So that's what ignorance only, that's what ignorance, foolishness. So develop foolishness, madness and illusion. Pramado, moha, tamaso and ajnana. Pramado, moha, ajnana. So that's what Krishna is teaching us. So from the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness and illusion. So these are all going to develop. So for us, we need to get the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, what we are getting. So this knowledge binds ones to happiness. So we are going to be happy with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So when we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we are able to apply this knowledge in our life, so we are able to make our mind very peaceful. So that way we are going to be very happy. That way we will be actually freed from this material bondage. So the real happiness comes when we are not going after the material sense objects. If you are going after the material sense objects, we are actually losing happiness. So that way, we need to follow this Bhagavad Gita. By Krishna's mercy, we will definitely get this knowledge and we will go to Krishna. There is no doubt about it. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished this sloka number 17 in the 14th chapter. Hare Krishna, as usual, let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra one round. So that way we can focus our mind on Krishna. So then